Hi bunnies, it's Ticky's Trinkets here, and today I have for y'all a different kind of video. This is I cannot say behind. I've done recorded this 3 times. I can't say it. A behind the scenes video where I'm going to be showing you how I store my sculptures versus like how I pack them. This is how I store them in the meantime until they have sold in a safely and secure way. You've also probably noticed by now I'm not sitting in my usual spot and that I'm not wearing my usual ears. In honor of a little bit of Halloween early, I got my black ears that I painted blue on the top to add a little more flair with my pink glittery part. And I'm going to show y'all how I safely store my stuff until it is ready to be sold or until I give it to somebody or something like that. But before I get into that, I'm going to readjust the camera angle a little bit more and then show off my stuffy stuff. Alright, now we're at a little more of a natural, comfortable position, not straining the neck to look up. Oh, that's a beautiful sight. Just, yeah, you're enjoying that. Anyways, I wanted to show off the way that I store my sculptures, because when you think of the way people store their polymer clay charms, you probably typically think of this. Which, for example, I have one of those sitting right here. These little craft organizers, which you can get pretty cheap. That one was $1.99. This is very old, as you can tell, very worn with stuff stuck in it. Very old. But they'll have several little compartments that you can put polymer clay charms in, as I just showed. But that's not gonna do. As I was saying, that's not gonna do for my gigantic sculptures, because, for example, my sculptures start, okay, let me grab a more narrow one, at about this size, which, as you can see, compared to my hand, I have small hands, but still, they're about 2 to 3 inches in size, a good grasp of the palm full, and they're also very wide as well. I put them on these bases for extra protection and also extra stability, because when I first started, I wasn't very good at making them very stable, to say the least. But now I can actually make them sit flat without the bases, but the bases still make them sit more evenly, very nice and pretty, unlike Funko Pops, where you just kind of sit them on the shelf and hope that they'll stand up. Some of them come with stands, but not all of them. But I just have those sitting on Sprite, because there's just a bunch of junk food in my room. Ignore that. And they are sitting there because I'm going to put them in my box. And I'm going to back up for this so you can see all of my fat. The way that I store my sculptures is with a Christmas Ornament Organizer I got off of Amazon. And as you can see, in comparison to me, or more rather can't see, it's huge. It's supposed to fit, I think, a couple of 100 ornaments. It's also got little handles on the side and a little plate on the front, which my fiance wrote Ticky's Trinkets on with a little heart because he loves me. I hope y'all can hear me all right. But I'm going to set that down, and I'm going to open it up, which it has 2 zippers, and then it opens up to several flights of compartments that I put each sculpture plus packing peanuts into the compartments to keep them nice and gently packed. And each compartment has the ability to come out, except for the bottom flight. You have to very, very gently, if you buy one of these, I always put my thumbs on 2 of the joints, allergies, 2 of the cardboard joints, because these are not glued together. These pieces of cardboard, they're just kind of interlocked together like Legos, and you have to very gently raise this up all at once. There's a crocodile falling out at me right now as I speak. Raise that up all at once to take the first flight out, and then we drop something, which actually happens quite a bit, but you know, I have many ways to fix things. I sound like crap. I have many ways to fix things: glue, air dry clay, Sculpey, liquid Sculpey. There's so many ways you can repair polymer clay sculptures and wouldn't even notice that they're messed up in the first place. I know that sounds awful, but clay is extremely, extremely, extremely fragile. Like my insecurities. It's so fragile that it breaks so easy that's why I store them like this, because I used to use little flimsy-wimsy organizers when I first started, but my stuff was much smaller back then, because as we can see, no matter what way I try to jam this thingy in here, he's not gonna store very easily. Let's say I could store them like that, just kind of like standing up in there. That's if they'll all fit in there like that, which they don't. They don't. Especially once you get them on the bigger bases, they definitely ain't fitting in here any way, shape, or form. That's not happening. So I had to think of a way to store them. And I thought, what could I get that looks like this, but pretty much 300 times its size? A Christmas Ornament Organizer, which I bought off of Amazon, which was relatively affordable. I believe it was somewhere between $10 to $20, which honestly is not that bad. I know it's not $1.99, but if you got big sculptures that you want to keep in mostly safe condition until they sell, this is a great option. Next, I'm going to take out the second flight like I just did with the first one. Very, 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 very gently, like so, and I'll set it on top of the other one, and then now I'm dropping other stuff, and that one's sitting sideways. Great. Like, just for example, normally I would never tell the dirty on sculptures that have broken, but does this look broken to you at all? Most of you are going to say no. She looks perfectly fine. Perfectly cute. This is my Mardi Gras dragon. If you hadn't seen it before, go check it out on Etsy. If you want to buy it, she's still available. And she's one of my favorite sculptures that I've made to date, because she's just so awesome. So many techniques went into this. But what had happened was that when I opened this up yesterday or the day before, this horn had kind of peeled off. The glue had unadhered to the horn, and it was peeling off her head. You know what I did? More glue, more glaze, back to brand new. Easy peasy. No problem. I know that sounds bad, but things happen. Even when I try to store them as gently as possible, sometimes things break. They're clay. It's like Play-Doh. Eventually, things will crack or break. It's inevitable, but it's fixable. Lastly, if you buy this, I wouldn't recommend grabbing it by the handles if you're pulling it up really fast. When I grab it by the handles, you'll see that I'm kind of gripping the box whilst also grabbing the handles or very gently lifting it together like that, because this, after all 3 flights are completely filled or mostly completely filled, it's heavy. If you buy this for ornaments, it gets heavy. I've seen a lot of people on Amazon complain that they break easy. Baby, you toting it by these handles and this thing weighs a couple of pounds. It might break easy. Get over yourself. Things break. Things are fragile. Again, like my sense of self-worth. Just kidding. We're just having fun here. You might not know it because I don't loosen up much for my videos, but I'm a little bit of a comedian. I'd like to think I am. But anywho, on to the third and final flight. It is not on a shelf like that one. It is actually the bottom of the box, which I actually consider this to be the most secure and the most delicate layer at the same time. It's secure because it's not being lifted out, but it's delicate because the bottom of the box sometimes gets pressure put on it from putting it on the shelf or something, and because of that, things can get muddled up or mixed up because I'm putting pressure on it, like I am with my leg right now, leaning on that, which I normally don't do this. It normally sits gently on my floor. And then I very gently set it down, and everything again has packing peanuts on every layer, multiple ones in each little compartment. And I can fit, with my gigantic sculptures, between 2 to 3 sculptures in each compartment. For example, let me see something that's easy to show. Yes, this would be fun. as I'm hunched over like a little gremlin in here. I got 2 of these. These are my Dias de los Muertos sculptures. The dragon sold a little while back. We're sad about it, but happy about it at the same time. I got my marigold bunny and my traditional Hispanic music, or some Mardi Gras, not Mardi Gras, oh my gosh, mariachi band wolf. You can call it music based or the mariachi band based. They were all Dias de los Muertos themed. The marigolds are symbolic for the flowers for the passing of people and showing them that you care and love them. And then I also made a dragon that was the colors of the flag, I believe. I think that's what it was. Either way, that compartment has 2 in it. But sometimes, if I'm really, really lucky, I can get 3 in there. I'm not going to show that, for example, but just so you have an idea. Obviously, like I'm doing right now, you kind of just have to play around with it. Cough at the people, because you have allergies. And then I have about 5 to 6 peanuts in each little compartment. Now I got a hot mess is what I got. We love a hot mess, just like me. Again, humor. All being funny, all in the game. Now, gently toss them into the box and they're ready to roll. As you can see, if you got eyeballs and are looking, it's almost full. So that means I gotta get a second one of these. I store them very nice and gently on the top shelf of my closet. I'd recommend storing them under your bed, on the top shelf of your closet, in the floor in your closet, on a table somewhere. If you can't display them all in a nice glass shelf or cabinet like I want to do in the future, this is a good option to store them safely in the meantime. Again, I have one little small fracture every once in a blue moon. I think I've maybe broke 3 or 4 things from this box. And I've had this probably since 2017, I think is when I got it, 2017 or 2018. 2 to 3 years now. This is definitely a safe way to put things and store things. As you can see, I got the sculpture sitting over there, the little tiny army sitting on the Sprite cans. Those are, I'm really dark even though my ring light is all the way up. They're sitting there as a tiny army waiting to go inside this box. It looks like there's no room, but there are outer rims on the actual flights, which I'm thinking about putting tape on the outer rims to make them more secure. Let me see if I can grab this. Let me ram it on the table so I can really prove my point that, see the outer rim? See how that one's sticking out? I'm thinking about putting tape on that to maybe keep it more secure. Maybe some clear plastic tape or some duct tape or something. Ah, yes. Let's knock every single piece off the shelf at one time. But just giving you ideas, because that's all that this box comes with. The dividers, the shelves, and the box itself, and that little name tag, and the handles on the box, which again, weight limit on those. So yeah, just an idea on how to store your polymer clay sculptures if they are larger in size. Goshly, I hate how dark I am. Yep, that was the brightest setting. Yeah. It's nighttime. Just deal with it. But yeah, that's a really good idea, a really good way behind the scenes how I store my sculptures and how you could do it too if you want to. It's up to you. If you don't want to, that's fine. If you got a better way, that's good. If you got a big cabinet, that's even better. That's perfect. I don't have a cabinet. I'm not living on my own. I live with my family. And eventually I will live with my fiance in a house in the future. It's just not right now. But anywho, this is just a really cute idea on how to store your stuff securely, functionally, and cutely all at the same time. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Next week will be a clay and chat, so look forward to that. It'll be a clay and chat of me working on one of my crystal dragons, which I'm pointing back there, but you clearly can't see it back there because it's covered up on the tray by a bunch of more stuff. We love stuff here. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it had to be on the floor. This was the only way I could make this manageable. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next Friday. Bye-bye, my bunnies.